It's a great time to be holding this discussion. The Commission just last month published its ambitious package of proposed corporate tax reforms. There's also a new report, hot off the press, called Tax Policies in the EU, and that's designed to contribute to the discussion on better taxation.
In those uncertain times, tax policy, I'm convinced of that, can reassure people that their voices are heard. What will the taxation system look like? It has to be more supportive to growth than it is today, and it must be really one that favors transparency, because people cannot accept anymore some unfair practices. Everybody involving multinationals must pay their fair share of tax where they create profits.
The companies that contribute to growth are typically young, innovative companies. These tax breaks for small companies, while they encourage entry, they also provide disincentives for companies to grow.
The more you move toward the top income, the more it's correlated with innovation.
If you are an entrepreneur, you know that you're taking a lot of risks.
People like public expenditure and they don't like taxes.
We always start to think about the design of these schemes, but ultimately implementation is really key.
So when you implement a deduction, obviously people in lower brackets are not taking advantage of that.
So we need to make sure that there is equal access to information.
Trust is best license nowadays.
The availability of the data, the collecting the data and the sharing the data, I think it's one of the big advantages of the new technologies.
Sharing economy today is a very hot topic. So another way to see it is to see that we have platforms. I believe there is no way to find one tax for all. We will have to see the regulations and the taxes based on the activities themselves.
This conference is very much forward-looking. So topics such as how to tackle the new development, for example, in the digital collaborative economy, and how to make sure that we have this equal fairness and support of the tax reforms for these new forms of economy is a very important element.
Policymakers need to be very, very aware of how tax affects incentives, of how it can stifle growth. The coming up with a prescription for great tax incentives is hard, but it doesn't mean they shouldn't try.
What I would like to see happen is that we learn to collaborate more and we learn to talk with each other more, that we need to invest a lot in understanding the scope and scale of the changes that we're seeing in this global digital economy and what do they mean for us as tax professionals. And we need to really work together to evaluate that and try and build a positive agenda for the future.